get started on this thing. First step is take it apart, take it all apart, get it sandblasted, and then I got some welding to do on it. There's a few cracks. There's a crack right there in the base, and there's kind of a worrisome crack right here on this clamp. I think it'll be okay. I don't like that crack, but if necessary, I'll remake that bracket, although I don't think it'll be necessary. This kind of worries me too. I don't know if you can hear that. Sounds like a bad bearing. No big deal. But anyway, I guess the first thing to do is start disassembling. But that's heavy. Yep. A little heavier than I expected. Seems reasonably smooth. Well, I bet that alignment right there is pretty critical. Afraid of that. Anyway, it'll be all right. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a puzzle to take apart. This right here is a weight that goes, or chain that goes inside this column. It's connected to a weight inside there. I don't know how you get to it if it gets away from you, so I'm going to tie this off. It looks like basically a bearing retainer. No idea how this works. It's got like a jack screw up here, probably acting as a set screw. It was already a little bit loose. Okay, pulley's on the bars now. And it ain't gonna budge. Wow. That's what's holding it. That's the key that the spline on the drill press locks into. I don't know how in the world I'm going to get those back in there. That's crazy. Popped right out of there though. Look at that. Talk about a specialty item, huh? That pin keys it to that pulley and keys it to your spine shaft, which isn't really a spine, it's just got two keyways in it. Now maybe I can get that apart. Uh-oh. Ooh-wee. Well, that's a pain in the butt. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty heavy. I'll either have to strip that by hand, which may not be too bad, but or cover these ways and all these machined surfaces. Might just be easier to strip it by hand. No, it's not moving. Can't figure out how the darn thing comes apart. Well, against my better judgment, I beat the heck out of that shaft there. Let's see what I got. It came out. Oh. Probably need to take a file to that shaft where I was beating on it. I have no idea what was holding it. like a rotating shield on top of that bearing. Hopefully I can get that bearing. Looks like it's got numbers on it. It's like 205 to me. T205, whatever that means. Yeah. Now I gotta get that bearing off of there. That bearing actually feels pretty good. Maybe I better leave it alone. Looks like kind of a specialty bearing. Dang thing's heavy. Well, let's see what this paint stripper does. Trying a different brand. I bought a whole gallon of it. Pretty expensive stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to work. I told the lady at the paint store I wanted the illegal stuff. She says, oh yeah, I got that in the back room. I don't know if it's any better than any other paint stripper, but it seems to be doing pretty good. It's got about 3 layers of paint counting the original. I don't know if that'll do any good or not. I got a lot of extra grocery sacks. Well, while I'm waiting for that, let's go take a spin on my buckboard flyer. Well, covering it up with the grocery sack, it's doing pretty good. It's going to take a couple more times, but even in the sun, it's working good. Yeah, wait another 20 minutes. Well, there's some stuff in this cast iron. I believe it's cast iron filler. I could be wrong. But it's got a very slightly gummy consistency. Extremely hard though. I know that doesn't quite make sense. But anyway, paint thinner, acetone, paint remover, wire brush, scraper, nothing gets it off. Wire brush and scraper kind of do, but there's little bits and pieces of it in there. I'm going to see if this, number one, I want to see if this paint looks good. And number two, I want to see if it covers it good. This is a metallic oil rubbed bronze. It's a satin finish, and it looks glossy right now, but it'll turn flat or satin. Well, I didn't have this sandblasted because I didn't want to go through the hassle of protecting these slides right here. But in hindsight, I should have done that because this is a pain in the neck. Doesn't come off very good. Very time consuming, hard on my back. I probably won't get it all off. I'll get 90% of it. Using wet, dry sandpaper in case there's any lead in here. That way it won't be airborne and I won't breathe it. All that stuff right there, I figured out what it is. It's a process called Japanning. They used to use it. It's a tar and turpentine. It's what they painted it with originally. But it's very durable, but it's thick. So it fills in all the little cast iron imperfections. So the best I can do is go back and smooth them out and hope for the best, I guess. Paint remover didn't touch it. Well, here's what I've got cleaned up so far. And painted. That right there goes on top of this pulley, on top of the motor. And I still need to take that apart and clean it up. I took the paint off it. And out here, I got that more or less cleaned up. It's about as clean as it's going to get. I think the next step is to put several coats of primer on it and sand it down. Hopefully it'll smooth it out a little bit. And then over here, we got sandblasted parts. That's the motor bracket. That's the quill bracket. No, that's the table bracket. Table bracket. And it's broken. I've either got to braze or weld that. I got some nickel welding rod. I'm going to give it a try. And that's the base. Crack really shows up good now. It's got several cracks. So, I've wasted a lot of time if those welds don't come out good. Right here's the table. It's in pretty good shape. And here's the auxiliary table. Look at that brazing job there. Somebody did a good job. Can't believe somebody did that. Abuse the table like that. It is fairly common. Hard to believe, but it is. There's another repair there. One right there. And a soon-to-be repair right there. But I did a good job on the brazing. I think I'm going to try brazing instead of welding. I just feel like it's less risk. Uh, this is probably what I'll braze first. I'll probably do it from the bottom side. That way, if it gets really ugly, it won't show up on the top. Honestly, this has been repaired already with brass, and it did good. I think I may try to fill that in right there, give it a shot anyway. And then right here, probably grind that out and braze that. And then I'll just put filler on the other side so it looks nice. It's still plenty strong the way it is, but that'll give me some good practice so that I can do well on that. Well, it's going to be hard to get this hot enough. Maybe I will arc weld it. Yeah, I like that all right. I think I'm going to grind this crack out up here and try to fill that. And if I have trouble with it, I won't be able to, it's a good sign I won't be able to get enough heat to weld that other one. We'll see how it goes. Well, there it is. Still got a lot of work to do, but not the smoothest finish in the world, but I think when I get it put together it'll look pretty good. Well, I had a friend that's a welder weld that for me, and he had a hard time with it, but I think it'll be alright. It was broken right there. Apparently this is not the best quality cast iron. Cast iron is just problematic to weld anyway. I'll flip that over after it dries. Okay, I'm a little bit apprehensive about this. I've got the shaft that goes in here. I've had it in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and I've heated up the pulley that goes in here. It's about as hot as I can handle it, which is 150 degrees. And I'm hoping I can line that hole up right there. Not working. Okay, let's try this again. I heated the pulley up a little bit warmer, and I polished the shaft that goes inside it. There we go. Lined up now. Now I gotta put those stupid things inside the spindle. Heck yeah, got it. Obviously this is an effective way to do this, although I don't know if it's the best way. Certainly a pain to get apart and put back together. This is a secondary shaft support. Goes above the motor to help support that pulley. sticks up. Well, this is that old grease that solvent doesn't really dissolve. What it's gonna take is spray cleaner, strong detergent. It's the only thing that'll dissolve this grease. That's a spray cleaner, like kitchen spray cleaner. Heat it up to the boiling point in the microwave. Yeah, I got this belt cover on. I got a belt made. The green side goes in because it's rubber. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Sounds like the motor bearing's a little noisy. Let's just try speeding it up a little. Well, I like it. Belt's tracking good now. Let's see what it does on the lower pulleys. See if it still tracks good. Ah, excellent. Well, I gotta hook up the spindle, and there was a switch that mounted on here. It was really not in very good shape, but I may try to reuse parts of it. Waiting for the bearing, spindle bearing. That'll be next. Okay. And this right here has got, I don't know if you remember earlier in the video, I had a hard time getting that out. I popped the seals out of this because this right here, this oil cap, right here, oils this bearing. And I was okay with it being sealed and not using that, but that's also what lowers or oils the bottom one. Oil drips down in the tube and lubricates that bearing. So I popped the seals out because it needs to work like that. Need to find some kind of tube to put over that. Has one of those set screws on a set screw thing. Top set screw locks the bottom one. There's a piece of felt in this clamp here. It's to contain the oil used to when you oil that bearing. Perfect. I think we're ready to put it in the drill press. Checking to make sure the little keys were still straight in there. I got a couple of shims I put in here because these dovetails were either made oversized or have worn. Okay, we're good. Well, there it is. Seems to work just fine, but I got a wobble in the chuck. Looks like a project for another day, actually. Quite a bit of wobble there. And the bearing, the lower bearing is spinning in the housing just a little bit. That's not where the wobble's coming from though. Other than that, I think it's going to work out pretty good. I can gain a little clearance here. That's it right there. So that's maximum clearance between this table. And if I want to use the other table, and if I need more clearance there, I can move the dovetails up. Well, I'm overall pleased, except for that run out. That's not very good at all. See what it does at high speed. Might get some kind of weird vibration even. Probably not. Yeah, it's still pretty smooth. Yeah, let's break it in. Not too bad. Well, that about wraps it up. The Canedy-Otto rebuild. Almost. I still got to fix that chuck. Anyway, thanks for joining me and be sure and subscribe.